A long time ago, in a living room far, far away, there was the cable TV empire. Ruled by very few companies, cable made users pay for premium upgrades, set-top boxes, channel packages, and DVRs. Then came the internet ushering in, the streaming wars. Tech companies promised a new generation of premium shows, content on the go, low monthly prices, and no ads. But eventually, the same empire of studio profits and companies would come to raise those prices to give us what now looks like cable? Will we ever escape the tyranny of the streaming wars? Find out on this episode of The Three-Dimensional Dads.
I'm Jay.
I'm Derrick.
And I'm Ian.
And we're the Three-Dimensional Dads. And we are extremely poor. Because we pay, I'm guessing, around $1,200 a month collectively for streaming services. And we can't share each other's passwords because that is against the rules.
No,
crack it down, right?
No,
yeah.
They will crack down. It's basically like the Empire, right? It is. What's that city in Andor that they just totally blew up?
Gorman?
Gorman,
yes,
yeah,
the Gorman mess.
That's what you get. You get Gormaned when you share passwords.
It started off, they were all cool password sharing, and everyone had,
you could do everything.
and then they cracked
No
down,
way.
and then they stopped making anything to watch on any of them.
True. So Derrick in his opening made a huge point. Streaming is now basically cable.
Yes,
Pretty much, yeah.
And prepare yourselves, strap in for another 23 to 25 minutes of old man complaining.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yep, you're gonna have three of those.
So I remember, and this is pre-COVID mostly, I would wind up complaining about cable prices continuing to go up and that you would not really be getting the content that you wanted in cable. Or, certain cable services were threatening to take away certain channels at one point, like Clear Channel would threaten to take away The Daily Show. You would have talks of like Nickelodeon being dropped from your cable package, and you must talk to your cable provider in order to make sure that they withhold a deal or something to that effect.
I had that. My wife, she watches like one channel, and they were like, well, now that's part of this package, the silver package, and you had that package, and we had it already, and then they just took it away. Like,
yeah. And you had even then, some of these big companies had exclusives. I believe DirecTV was one of the only services that had NFL Ticket, which was every single NFL game at one point that you could get across the entire country. Or you had to pay some indefinite premium to, I think, either Fios or to Xfinity and I think they were called Comcast back then, in order to get those special deals. So you paid a premium on top of your premium to get channels that you didn't want, and then you would also get the channels that you would want. Let alone, I was a big hockey fan, right? And the only way to get the Bruins in this area, and when I used to live in New Jersey, was to get the Devils, is that you had to pay for a separate sports package, which was completely ridiculous. So, your regular bunny ears don't get you anything. And then with half the cable packages that you want, you don't get the channels that you want. On top of that, if you wanted to get internet, you had to pay for that separately.
Oh, yeah. You got to pay for all the channels you don't want, too.
Yes.
It's like, I have like 1,000 channels of like bass fishing.
Yeah.
But then I have like one comedy channel.
Right.
Imagine if they came up with a plan where it was like you pick whatever 10 channels you want for this.
Imagine.
Then you have 20 channels. Then you have 30 channels. That would be brilliant.
That would be
And the more channels you get, the bigger discount you get.
Yeah.
So it's basically gone from a monarchy or a monopoly to an oligarchy. I think,
but that's why so many of us were really quick to cord cut or to go, you know what, that's a terrible system.
Yes.
So when we saw Netflix, that was something like, that's the way to do it. When Netflix started streaming the way that they did, past the DVDs, was like, I'd much rather pay for TV shows I love and a ton of content that I would watch than to be paying Comcast. And at that point, it was like $10 a month or something. It was, the value proposition was crazy compared to cable.
And it was easy for Netflix to get some of the shows that the networks had because basically they were just putting those episodes back in syndication. So at the time, NBC or ABC didn't care whether or not Netflix carried old episodes of Seinfeld until they realized that they could start their own streaming services.
Mhm.
But I feel like we're talking about like back in time now. It's like, remember the glory days? Remember the beginning of streaming? Oh, that was great, wasn't it?
Yeah. So I really feel that streaming probably peaked right around COVID.
Oh, yeah.
You had everybody locked in. And I believe that's also when Disney Plus came out and then you launched The Mandalorian. So Disney decided they were going to take all of their content and bundle it into their own package. And then you had people like Paramount that were going to do their own thing too as well. I think there were some other networks that were doing the same thing, but everyone kind of followed what Netflix was sort of doing. Then separately from that, you also have the technology companies that said, well, in addition to what I'm selling you, whether it's an iPhone or you're paying for your Amazon subscription, we're going to throw in these streaming services for you too, kind of like to sweeten the pot. So we could have an excuse to jack up our prices a little bit more.
Right.
And boy, have prices been jacked.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. It's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. And we'll get into the prices later. But yeah, like I think it's must see TV. Like every now and again, it's must see TV.
Right.
Right. Like
Yeah.
I just finished The Boys. That's Amazon. And I'm going to have Amazon no matter what because I have Amazon Prime because I need it for shopping and stuff like that. But like, what about The Last of Us on HBO Max? And then you go to, what's another service that we watch a lot of shows on, like Disney Plus. You have Mandalorian, and then you have kids who need to, they want to watch that forever, right? It was great, but I think we only end up watching about 5 to 10% of the content on those things, on all those services.
Yeah.
So like we're paying premium prices for ad-free content across 5 platforms for about 10% of the content on each of those platforms.
Yeah, they've very much gone to basically the app model where they just really want to lock in your monthly fee in order for you to keep paying. And then you're kind of using it sparingly here and there. So I think we could all agree, and we're going to kind of break this conversation up in a couple different pieces. But we started with this ad-free content. And at the time, Disney Plus, I'm going to take as an example, and Netflix as we took example, the monthly rate to get your basic service, and at that time you could share your password with others and have people also log onto your account and watch TV and movies unlimited, right, was probably at most maybe $15 a month. I mean, if that, I think that there were specials for Disney Plus that made it like almost 10 a month. And that kind of golden era of cheap ad-free, all that you can watch is pretty much over.
Right.
And
Well, also something they were doing is that they were making a ton of content.
Yes.
So they suddenly had just amazing amounts of money to throw at brand new shows and tons of them and amazing talent. I feel like each of them were trying to like hook the amazing actors or amazing directors. And so that early content that we were getting was like top notch. Like when we got Stranger Things and House of Cards, and it was like this, and then Mando over on Disney Plus. It's like we were getting really high quality shows. The Boys over on Amazon. It's like, and now those seem like they're drying up. And I heard that's like a Gen Z. So we're saying that we pay for all these services. I've heard that Gen Z's not, like the generation younger than us, is that they'll sign up for a month, watch the show, and then cancel. And so that's the challenge for them now, is like they stop making the shows. Like Netflix doesn't have a new Stranger Things. Like they have Bridgerton's I think still going on. But like House of Cards stopped. Like some of these like Prestige, they're not pumping out shows the way they used to. They've slowed down.
Euphoria's over. Euphoria just ended.
Right. And so you have to have shows that are killer for me to be paying these prices now every month. So I feel like I'm starting to do the Gen Z thing. It's like I'll cancel, but my struggle is that I have 2 kiddos and a wife, and everyone watches shows on different, like we're all on different ones.
Exactly.
And so it's like, I'm over watching Spider Noir on Amazon Prime, and then my wife's watching Bridgerton and other things on Netflix. So it's tough. Yeah. It's hard to pick one. And then Disney Plus for the kids. It's like, how do you not? Yeah, it's tough.
I was
Yeah.
going to
And
cancel
yeah.
Netflix. I was going to cancel Netflix after Stranger Things. And
I
my
have a
wife
couple
said,
yeah.
no, I want to
Oh.
watch my murder shows.
Right. Yeah. Me too. I know.
It's ridiculous.
I think actually that's the one service that we have let expire. Honestly,
Oh.
yeah. I mean,
Hot
there's a
take.
few things that I'd really like to watch on Netflix, but sometimes I just don't have the time in the day. They have a lot of really good documentaries. There's a lot of really good like sports related things that I think that Netflix does. But again, I'm not locked into really any of the action movies. There isn't any a franchise that really I want to sink my teeth into with Netflix to pay $20 a month.
You know, what's interesting, Derek, is that they were feeling that, and they made a deal with WWE, and now
Mhm.
Raw is on every Monday. So all the
Mhm.
wrestling fans now have to have Netflix. And don't forget, too, when the streaming services started really competing, it was like, okay, you pay this price for 1080p, but you pay an
Yes.
extra $5 for 4K.
Yes.
Yeah, I stopped doing that. I was all about the 4K. I have like an awesome TV. I love 4K. And then it was like, not for, okay, so they have like one show that looks good in 4K. Like Stranger Things was made in 4K, cool. But most things my daughters are watching on an iPhone or a tablet or a like, yeah.
You don't need to go top of the line
I've
for that.
heard, and if you want to get really nerdy into it, and I don't know the specifics, that the streaming 4K in compared to if you had a 4K Blu-ray DVD is not the same, because the quality still cannot compare to the actual amount of data that you get from a Blu-ray disc that you get streamed on your television. So
It also feels
even though you're
antiquated to do
paying
that.
more, you're not getting true quote unquote 4K.
It's too painful. It's too painful,
Yeah,
right? And
right.
and the difference is not enough for me to go like, I'm not doing that. And you know, then
Yeah.
Disney Plus is a baked in. Disney
Right.
Plus, like, they're not even doing that. HBO Max doesn't do that.
Yeah.
It makes Netflix seem petty in comparison.
Yes, absolutely.
I'm not paying.
I think the only other service that does do that, I think, is Amazon, if I'm not mistaken.
Well, Amazon did the bait and switch where it was, you know, kind of part of Amazon for a long time, and now they're like, ads?
Yep.
How many more ads can we show you? And it's like, well, I only watch one show on there every once in a while, so I'll put up with ads. But yeah, now that makes it feel like cable. I'm sitting there watching the exact same ad for like Progressive over it because they play the same one too. It's infuriating. They're trying to poke at you.
Or they're basing the ads off what you're searching for on Amazon. That's even more infuriating when they get really yes.
Mind blown.
Stop nickel and diming me, Jeff Bezos. Just send me my dog food.
I have all your information. I know you've been shopping for diapers.
You know, I just want to watch sports. Give me sports in 4K. That's all I need in 4K for real.
That's what's killing me is that NFL. Is like NFL something with the Patriots where their games are all over the place, but it's so much better than what the signal was for Comcast. Like we're watching Comcast and you can't see the blades of grass. You know, the picture's not great. Then I go watch it on streaming and streaming looks awesome compared to, this new live streaming thing they're doing is, I think that's the way to go for this stuff.
Well, and that kind of brings us to our second topic here, and that is which platforms have the exclusive content, which is also making it harder for people to decide. So if you like Formula One, now you have to be an Apple TV Plus fan. Or if you like the Major League Soccer, right, you have to go to Apple TV Plus. If you want to see Thursday Night Football, you have to go to Amazon Prime.
Right.
So now there is I guess the exclusivity, right, of what platform has what content. I mean, I think only the Macy's Day Thanksgiving Day Parade is going to be streamed on Peacock, right?
It is ridiculous. It's this idea that, you know, we're so baked into our habits that we're going to go to wherever the content is. We're going to pay every month for this. We're going to pay every month for that, and it is starting to get kind of ridiculous.
Yeah.
Right. And well, that forced everyone, like my whole family members that normally wouldn't do all the streaming, have to download these apps where they're like, so where is the game for Thanksgiving? Like, well, then we have to go, what is it on? You know, or we'll be like, oh, I know there's a game on now. Oh, hold on. Let's go download this and log in and do all these things. Yeah. But I heard that the big differentiators, Parks and Rec and The Office. So that when we're talking about exclusive content, that is still like when I saw some stats on like what the most streamed things like still are. It's like The Office is like 60% of all traffic on streaming services. And like Parks and Rec, it was like a crazy amount. And then like
nuts.
Moana. For some reason, Moana 1 is still like really crushing it.
I would think Frozen or something too would still be kind of like one that would be up there or something, right?
Right. Where I also think it's interesting how like my kids' viewing habits have changed from how it was when I was a kid. I thought that Disney Plus was going to be this like amazing service where, you know, I collected all these DVDs for my kids, all the Disney animated movies, and then all the Pixar's. Like growing up, my grandparents had every Disney movie, and they had like 9 grandkids. And so we'd come over and we could like watch all the movies, and like I loved that. So then I had my collection for my daughters. I have like every single movie. And then Disney Plus came out and had every single, and I thought that they would really love this collection of movies. And they don't see it that way at all.
No.
They don't rewatch anything. Like they just lay like TV shows and they like watching things, but they don't hold movies as dear as we did. When we had like, well, the grandparents had 10 movies. We watched them all, and then we watched them over and over and over and over. Like we had this relationship with that collection. And my kiddos are like, they call TV shows movies and movies shows. They don't get what's a show and what's a movie.
Yeah.
Interesting.
And they just pop around to different services. So yeah, it turned out to not be such a thing. And they never rewatch.
It's like
Like a movie has to be so good to be rewatched by them.
It's like a buffet versus like a menu, right? So like you go to a nice high-end restaurant and there's like, 3 entrees, 5 appetizers, stuff like that, and you pick from that. But you go to a buffet, like one of those like huge buffets, like Golden Corral or whatever, and you can't ever decide what to get because there's a million things.
Yes.
And like I was saying with sports, like the NFL and MLB are dipping their toes in this. Like I like the Red Sox because I'm from Boston, right? If I'm going to watch the Red Sox game on Friday night, sometimes guess what? It's only on Apple TV.
Yep.
Right? Because it's an Apple TV exclusive game. So now you got to go over there. And it's funny because there's a sports show in Boston called Felger and Maz 2 to 6 drive time on 98.5 The Sports Hub. And they complain about this all the time. Yeah, free ad right there. Come on, Mike Felger. Come on, Tony Maserati, Jim Murray. Come on. Trying to find game like they're going to have a Wednesday night football game, an NFL game.
Are they?
Yep. This
I
year.
didn't hear that.
Right?
Are they?
And don't forget
about that. Hey,
now they're playing 10 games in Europe, and those games are on at 9:30, and some of them are only exclusive to like this platform or that platform, like Amazon Prime. It is pretty obscene. And like I was saying with wrestling, wrestling is now on Netflix. You can watch like Raw on Netflix, but then if you want to watch like a premium event, you have to have ESPN Plus.
Oh,
which is like
about ESPN Plus.
Spilling the tea.
I don't know. Before you go, I don't know. I don't know if they're going to get good returns on this investment because I think eventually there's going to be a Mendoza line where it's going to be enough is enough, and they're going to start seeing viewership mess up.
Oh, absolutely. With ESPN Plus, just a little small anecdote before we kind of move on is that for big events like the Stanley Cup playoffs now, I had, rights to stream every single game up until the Stanley Cup finals. Last year, my spouse really likes the U.S. Open of tennis. You would get all the matches going up to maybe like the quarterfinals that you could stream. And then it was, you need ESPN Plus. And ESPN Plus, if you want to get the bundle with Disney, Hulu, and everything else, it's almost $50 a month. And at that point, why am I not just paying for cable on top of everything else?
Yeah.
And that's true. Almost a whole subscription to YouTube TV, is my understanding.
Right. Well, one of the big struggles is like for any company, it's growth.
Absolutely.
And like all these streaming services, like they were growing and growing and growing, and they were like going into new markets. And then I think they all are all around the world now. Yep. So the only way, like, anyone that has it is going to have it. How do you grow? It's raising prices. They need to then,
And don't forget, I don't want to get political here, but right now we're in a time where the country's in conflict. Oil prices are, 70% more than they were before, something like that.
So don't drive places, stay home and watch streaming.
Perfect. you can't afford it because your home heating oil is more, your energy is more, right? Groceries are more, right? Everything's affected by this oil market. So what is one thing that people could cut and it's not going to be that painful? Streaming services.
Right. Well, I was just going to say my car got streaming services. I don't think I've shared this yet. So my car has Android Auto and just got updated. So I'm watching HBO Max. I'm watching Batman Begins as I'm parked at like soccer practice. I go for a walk and then and I've been watching like DC movies with my daughter in the back seat. She's like watching Batman Begins. So yeah, in my car now I have streaming services. There's like Amazon Prime and there's
Does it like turn off when you're driving?
Yes, it does. Yep. Oh, we tested it. So as you start to so it's like for your safety, we're pausing and then it puts a screen over it so you can't look at it.
We have jumped the shark.
That is crazy.
Awesome.
Well, yeah. Well, you talk about the prices rising and everything. So what is another way that they've tried to kind of combat this, right? Is that they're giving now what's called all of these services have this quote unquote fast tier, which is basically free ad supporting streaming TV.
Hey.
Which
I like the term.
Yeah, which is basically cable. It's what we know and love. It is
or broadcast
you're watching
TV,
the show with advertisements in it.
Right.
Like so the good old days.
Full circle. And it kills me, right? Because we have Peacock. Now I'm very middle-aged. We like to watch Jeopardy. It is exactly like watching Jeopardy on regular broadcast television because you have ads. It takes a half hour the whole time. And it's just, it should just be, Peacock is just NBC. It's literally like NBC. You can watch the Thanksgiving Day Parade, the New York with Al Roker and everything else, just like it was on air.
You're paying $20 for a channel.
Exactly.
Yeah. Well, I have this built in for free into my TV now. So I have a Samsung TV, and that's like Samsung Plus, and it's all these free channels that are putting on just random stuff, but they're all ads in between. It reminds me of like broadcast TV, like I have a digital antenna or something. And so I'll like my daughter sometimes be watching something weird. I'm like, what are you guys? And they're like, I don't know, it was just on. It was like some like a Polly Pocket show. I'm like, what are you? So they don't know it's not real TV. I'm like, that's not you don't watch that. Well, I don't know what that is. Yikes.
Well, it's funny. There's a lot of channels that would just basically be on regular broadcast cable, like the History Channel, the Discovery Channel, that have shows that have networks, I guess I'd call them, or channels on these services like Samsung TV or Tubi, I think is another service. There's another one, I think, for Freemium or Forium or something to that effect, that a lot of these streaming TVs, like you're saying, free offer. TV. Yeah, free tier.
Free TV.
Yeah.
And I go back to sports. It's I used to watch everything on regular broadcast cable. I could watch the Red Sox. I could watch the Bruins. I could watch the Celtics. I could watch the Patriots. I could watch whatever I wanted. Yeah, I couldn't necessarily get it in the same definition. I couldn't necessarily, DVR it and watch it later, right? Which I sometimes used to do with the Bruins when they were good. Jeremy Jacobs heard that. But now it's just it's a pain. It's not it's not Noah's Ark. You don't have to it's not that complicated. Like if you know that the Bruins are on Nessun, and then you get the Nessun 360 app, which is $30 a month, right? So if I want to watch the Bruins and Red Sox and get rid of DirecTV, $30 a month. But included with some cable is NBC Sports Boston, where I can watch the Celtics. Patriots are usually on broadcast TV because the NFL is still for local. You can still watch football games there, but that's the only thing. It is most of the playoffs now, though, like you were saying, Derrick, are off free TV. And that's a shame because, if I'm going to get off the streaming thing and more on the sports thing, how are they going to grow sports? Like baseball has been dying the last decade, and they did some more rules now that the games are faster and stuff like that. So the sport's growing. Now, on a side note, they're having a contract negotiation where they're about 5 billion miles apart. So there might be a baseball work stoppage, but you can't grow the sports and have people watching it if they have to go around on a scavenger hunt or they're Indiana Jones looking for the Holy Grail, trying to find these sports. And that's kind of where I'm
tech support to my parents, right? They have to find all these apps on Thanksgiving to
that's where I am. That's where I am washing my hands of this. I am done looking for sports. You know what? I'll watch it if it's on, and if it's not, I'll redo The Punisher or Daredevil or something like that.
Yeah. Or The Office, if you
Or
can
The
find it on
Office.
your streaming service.
If you can, yeah.
Thanks for listening, dads. Is your wallet hurting just as much as ours after listening to our woes and tales of the streaming wars? Let us know what you think about the state of streaming in our comments.
If you want to find out more about the Three-Dimensional Dads, follow us on YouTube, Instagram, and TikTok at Three-Dimensional Dads. At threedimensionaldads@gmail.com. We want to hear from you.
Did our streaming overload make you want to share your feelings? On the next episode of Three-Dimensional Dads, we talk about working on ourselves. That's right. We're going to therapy. All this and more on the next episode of Three-Dimensional Dads.